Braves, they're hoping, Mike, that Kyle Wright's going to be able to start the season. We mentioned this a little bit yesterday for those who missed it. But he's 27, had an incredible year, guys. 20-game winner, the Major's only 20-game winner, 21-5. Is this a concern for you as we get ready to start the season, or are you okay with if Kyle Wright's not able to get things going immediately?
Well, I mean, this was the one thing. Again, I don't want to be a Pollyanna. Don't be a Pollyanna. But I've always felt, what has happened to the Braves 2 of the last 3 years? You ran out of pitching.
Yes.
And in years past, you had to go get guys like Dallas Keuchel, who didn't do a whole hell of a lot for you. I just think this.
You're saying Double A is going to go make another move?
I think I would still get another. Look, their team is on the field right now. Something would happen between now and the trade deadline. But I thought $20 million for Charlie Morton was nuts. But everybody's convinced, from Mark Bowman to Grant McCauley, everybody thinks this guy is going to be ready. Dave O'Brien, that he's going to be okay. And what's okay for him? 5 1/3, more than 4 1/3? I just think Wright, it's important that Wright at some point is dialed in, because winning 20 games, despite the metrics, is nothing to sneeze at. And I'm still worried about what's going to happen with Ian Anderson. Is he going to get his head on straight? Is Soroka ever going to get back on the field? To me, I needed one more starting pitcher. Yeah, it would be technically 6 guys, but we've always needed them, especially September, October.
Yeah. So the latest with this is, Mike Soroka slowed by the hamstring injury from his second Achilles tendon injury, right? You've got Anderson, Coley, you got Elder, you've got Kobe Allard. They're all competing for the number 5 spot in this rotation. And then, we're still talking about Kyle Wright and whether he's going to be ready. Now, you don't need him opening day because he's not your opening day starter. But the fact is, that first week or two, I'm kind of with Mike. Now, I do need him more at the end of the season. But part of Wright's success last year was he got rolling, Mike, and then became one of our best pitchers. 3.19 ERA. To lead the majors in wins, that is pretty impressive. So I'm just hoping he can build on it more than anything. I have, no expectations he's going to turn right back around and be a 20-game winner again. That rarely happens. But if you're telling me Kyle Wright is a 16-game winner next season and has a great ERA and his stuff is working, I'd be very happy with that.
So I know certainly this team is going to be able to smack that ball around now with not having to deal with the shift. We talked about it yesterday. The idea that Matt Olson might now have a tremendous. Maybe he jumps up 10 to 15 points average wise. And Vaughn Grissom is still. We're big fans of the guy, but you still got to come up with those RBIs and that production for Dansby. I'm still worried about that.
It's fair. Dansby was a 100 RBI guy, man. I mean, whether you like it or not, 95 to 100 RBI. Who's producing that? Who's producing?
That's just it. I mean, and look, Ozuna, the best thing that can happen is Ozuna, and this is terrible. That's why I hate the guaranteed contract in baseball. He basically admitted he'd been goofing off since he got the $90 million deal, not to mention the off-the-field stuff. But now
Ozuna with the Braves.
But now he's going to put some work into it. Okay, I mean, the guy at one point was actually a Gold Glove outfielder. You can look it up back in his early days in Miami. But anything you get from Ozuna is going to be, let's be honest, is gravy. And they're going to do kind of a platoon out there in left. The catcher situation is great. I'm happy with Little D hitting the DH almost every other night. So that's a situation where I think the catcher's going to be better defensively. We're going to be able to steal bases, but teams might not be able to steal bases against us. So that's something to be excited about.